What's up, y'all? It's Tuesday. I'm not gonna front. You know, my brother is very tired right now. Let me roll my window. Apologies. Brother is very tired. It is 40 freaking degrees outside. Texas needs to chill. Not literally, though. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, though, dude, I want to talk about something. I want to talk about. So I was just thinking about this before I turned the camera on. I was just thinking about my, which is crazy to say. Don't get me wrong. Excuse me. But almost fat lifter anxiety. Okay, I've been working out for going on like probably 6 years. I think might be like 5. All right, and I've been fat for pretty much all of those. I got down to like 205, relatively smaller, but I really didn't get lean. And so I have like no visual idea on what my physique's gonna look like. I have scoliosis. It's minor. It's not a major case of scoliosis. My back doesn't look like an S. It just has a curve. It has like a 22-degree curve. I don't know if that gets magnified as you get older or what. So maybe worse. Who knows? It may even be better. I don't even know. So I don't know if that's gonna affect anything. And I'm looking at my physique and I'm like, I wonder how much smaller I'm gonna look when I'm fat, or when I'm skinny, or when I'm lean. Sorry, picked all the wrong words there. But I almost have like some sort of anxiety on how I'm gonna look when I get lean. And I think that's kind of a mental hurdle. I don't know how many people really experience that, but I mean, you almost kind of get scared. Because I mean, if you're just a big guy and you get lean, then you really have no base, you know? Like, I would say I have pretty decent shoulders, okay? Pretty decent back. But I don't know how much of that is amplified by the amount of fat that I have in either of those areas. Now, like, granted, when I feel that area and I feel the muscle, it's not very, like, you know, like, whereas if I feel my stomach, I can feel, like, you know, like an inch or whatever between my stomach and my abs. But my shoulders and stuff, like, it's all pretty lean. Like, I don't feel like I have very much fat sitting around there. So I'm kind of in this weird mental hurdle thing where I'm like really anxious or really worried about how I'm gonna look, and I'm not gonna look as big as I would like, you know. I know I have a pretty wide frame. I have a pretty wide and stocky frame, so I'm able to hold a lot more muscle, or I'm able to hold less muscle than, say, a guy that's like 6 foot, you know, with the same frame. Or it looks, sorry, I don't hold a lot more muscle. Realistically, he probably holds more because he's 6 foot and with a bigger frame, so everything kind of, you know what I'm saying. So my frame will look different with the same amount of muscle because I'm shorter and stockier, and I'm wider, or I'm wide, sorry. Pretty sure I have like wide, maybe it's clavicles, whatever. I have broad shoulders, okay? So I think my V-taper is going to be good, okay? But I also really don't know. I think I have a thick waist. I don't think I have, you know, a snatched waist. But I really don't know. I truly do not know. And I think that's the beauty of getting skinny or getting lean. You stop saying skinny, but getting lean. And I think that's sort of like a subconscious mental battle for me, is just thinking about how I might not look as good as I want, you know, especially being natural. Like, I'm not going to look crazy. I'm not going to be like these guys that are 200 even, like the Trent twins are like, what, 5'6" or 5'7", maybe more, I really don't know. And they're like 200 lean, and they look freaking huge. So I'm like, I don't know, you know, because I had a buddy, he cut down to 165. He still didn't have abs, because honestly we didn't train abs very much. He had some, they were starting to come in. But he got down to like 175, I think, was before he kind of stopped working out as much. But he just got lean, and he was still keeping on all that muscle, and he was like 175. And I'm like, whoa. You know, this was a guy, he was on top of his diet. He got lean. He was eating like a pound of beef a day. He was going crazy. He was like 175, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, am I going to have to cut down to 175 to be as lean as I want to be? And am I going to be as big as I want to be, but I really don't know. I know I have broader shoulders than him, so maybe I carry more mass overall, but like I said, it's just a whole bunch of I don't knows, you know? Just in case you're going through that, man, I really don't have any advice for you. Maybe I'll probably have advice for you when I get lean, but I mean, it's a mental battle, and you just kind of got to deal with it, you know? It's the same thing as your height. Like, it's just something you're going to have to be like, oh, well, guess I'll have to live with this. But I think it's better to be 175 and, you know, lean and healthy versus being, you know, 225, 250 like I am. And yeah, you may look big, but once you take your shirt off, you're just a bunch of belly, you know? So I don't, you know, it's just gives and takes, man. I think I don't really want the strongman look, I would say, overall. I do like being strong, don't get me wrong. It's fun. Or at least I think I'm strong. You know, the strongman look for sure has its ups, but I think it has a decent bit of downs too, especially for any of y'all that maybe started because you wanted attention from women, or just wanted to see yourself in that aesthetic, you know, men's physique style. Maybe cut your expectations down a little bit, you know? I'm starting to have to cut them down. I'm like, man, I'm probably not going to look that good, but I might look pretty good, you know? But I got to find out. That's the thing, is you got to find out. And if you don't look that good, then go for the strongman physique, bro. I don't know, you know? Gives and takes, man. It's all about your perspective on things. How you feel, how you want to look. But I mean, there's definitely nothing wrong with being about 10 to, you know, in that 10 to 15% body fat range. I know it can vary on people to people. Some people like to carry a little more fat hormonally, you know, like it's better for some guys to be hormonally there with like that 10 or that 15% versus 10%, or some guys like will function amazingly at 8%. It's all about perspective and experimenting, man. Nobody's ever the exact same. You know, if your fingerprints are all different, if I can match you by a single fingerprint, you think I'm able to one-to-one you with working out? You know, like, yes, there's absolutely basics and there's floors, okay? You know, everybody needs to have, you need to go harder than last time. You need to up the intensity every time, so your muscles constantly want to adapt, because your muscles need to want to adapt to get bigger, because bigger muscles are stronger muscles, therefore they can push more weight, and they've adapted to the weight that you're pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's obviously levels to this, but in the nuance, it's like some guy might say you need to be 8% lean, but you might get 8% lean, you might feel like dog crap. Oh, and then you might feel amazing at 12% or whatever, but this guy says, honestly not feeling too good. I kind of want to try 8. So there's nuances and limitations to everything, dog. All I gotta say is know your basics. It's all about the basics. You get the basics done, you can play around from there, you know? If I'm playing Clash of Clans, I got the basic, you know, I go on YouTube, I look at this basic attack, alright? I'm like, okay, this is working good, but I think I want this. You know, maybe my style is more this versus that. So I'm gonna kind of mess with the attack. Or, you know, you might go for attachments in like Call of Duty or something. You might be like, okay, this person likes to play more fast. I'm not really a fast kind of guy. I like to be a little more tactical about it. So I'm gonna go for this attachment. I might go vertical grip instead of angled, you know. Those kinds of things, man. It's the same thing in life. It's the same thing with working out. You know, but you have the class. You know, the class is high intensity. You know, at least once a week. Close to failure. 200 grams of protein. You know, that's your gun. I don't know, maybe your mag. You know, you get all that, you get your basics. But then you get to play around. You know, maybe you need more protein because you aren't recovering enough. Or maybe you have more muscle than you think. So you up your protein. Now you got a vertical grip versus an angle grip. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of the way I'm thinking about it right now. Kind of the way this is flowing off the dome right now. I think life is a whole lot more relatable to video games than you think. A lot of people say that too, but I mean, I think it's pretty true. You know, I just explained one aspect of it to you. You know, but Anyways, boys, it is back day. Hopefully 4 plates feels good today. I really hope so. I realize I lack creatine too, but I don't think I got enough protein over the weekend. I worked out Friday. Yeah, Friday. Oh, I just realized that video didn't upload. So my day 19 didn't upload, or it uploaded privately. So I was like, okay. And I click on it to make it public, and then it's only 10 minutes. I'm like, what? Like, what happened? And then I try and go into CapCut, grab my video, and it says media deleted. I did delete the media, so I was like, you know what? Hands off, my bad. Didn't double check, didn't do my due diligence. So then I uploaded yesterday's video, which was my chest day, which was day 20, but now it's day 19. So we're a little offset here, but I hit back last Friday. It's Tuesday now. I honestly probably didn't get enough protein throughout the day. I think I ate something out because I honestly really wasn't gonna work out because Christmas was that previous Thursday. So I didn't eat too good. I don't think I ate too much protein either. So I'm really hoping that doesn't net affect me, but realistically, I'm expecting it to. You know, you never know, but you kind of know. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of an unfortunate negative thing in my head. I'm gonna try and psych it out. Really not letting myself take over too much, but I did low rows, and those were so hype, bro. I loved them. They felt so good. But we're gonna change it up today. I think I'm doing a little too much upper back, or I may be doing a little too much mid back, because I know my T-bars, I do a little bit more of a mid back focused. You know, I'm not full out elbow bend, I'm not full in lat. So I think I might be going a little too hard on the mid back. So I hit some low rows to just kind of focus on those upper traps, all your stabilizers, and then your rear delt. And then T-bar rows, I hit mid. It's like mid to upper. And then you hit lat pull-downs, which is kind of the whole back, I want to say. Maybe not as much upper back. And then I can't remember what else I hit. Oh, I hit lat pullovers. I think that's about how we're going to go with this. And I'm hyped. I'm really excited. So, anyways, boys, we're going to go warm up. We're going to see how 4 plates feels on T-bars. But first, we got to start with 3.5. Not going to lie. Putting my ego in check here a little bit. I kind of was just like, you know, I started adjusting my warm-up here too. And I realized I'm like, man, maybe I'm ego lifting too much on 4 plates. So I'm bumping it down. We're gonna do 3 plates and a 10 for my 8 to 10 set. Then we're gonna just 3.5 plates for 6. And I'm just gonna try and be incredibly strict. There will be give, obviously. It won't be like stupidly strict, but I want my reps to all be slow or relatively controlled, maybe not slow. And just focusing on the squeeze and see how that feels. I did 3 plates and I was like, holy crap. Like I did them for 5. And I was like, wow, that feels like a little different. So I think I gotta drop the ego down a little bit. I think I might let myself get out of hand too much on that. I think it began to be a detriment to me. So bumped it down. We're gonna send this 8 to 10. See what happens. Nice. See, that's what I'm talking about. That felt completely different than, honestly, the past, or what I remember my freaking past T-bar sets feeling like. Just solid mid-back activation, so super happy with that. We're gonna do 3.5, and then keep her moving. Boys, here it is. Whew. Hoping this is feeling good. Hope this is a testimony to check your ego a couple times. You know, it might also be a reason why your weight isn't going up. Anyways. Even that felt pretty ego heavy. I'm not gonna front, but we'll stick with it. We'll send it. Alrighty, boys. Lat pull-downs. Here we go. So this is just about the time that I realized I picked just about the worst shirt for a back day. Because dude, I do these and just tummy out the whole time. So, my bad. Anyways, though, did a couple of these to kind of feel it out, and felt pretty good. So, see how many we can do. I think I can get at least 8 to 10. So, that's the goal. Holy crap, yo. Alright, there we go. Let's go. Whew. My goodness. That was a good spot. I think I ended right on like 8 or 9. So, just gonna go up a little bit now. Alrighty, boys. Here we go. Dude, I got a super good wrap on that first one. Felt like my hand in the bar were just one. So, hopefully I can do that again. I think it's the bar, which is nice. Yeah, super happy with that one. I could have probably pushed failure a little harder, but I think that will suffice. My arm started popping a little weird, so can't do me off. But low rows, baby. I'm excited for these ones. So let's get over there and get her moving. Alright, boys, I gotta be quick. Mike's almost dead, but let's get this low row. already. Alright. Last set. I have to wait quite a bit, so see how it goes. Whew. Holy crap. I'm so dead. Whew. Let's get on with the dog. Now keep moving. Not gonna lie, gents. Probably not gonna record this last set. This set I will. But this last set I probably won't, just to conserve my mic. So I can just get the posing room, and then I'll swap out mics in the car. So probably just hit this one, and then hit the other one by myself, and then we'll hit the posing room. So. Ooh, okay. Alright, I'll catch you all in the posing room. Back pump is pretty hype, not gonna lie. Whew. Pretty wide. Whew. Hope that's good. Not gonna lie. I have no idea if that's the right way to do that, but screw it. Let's go. Alright, I'll catch you on the car.